Well, 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 who would have thought of that? 1-1 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Man of the match, step up, Mr. Joe Hart. Take a bow, Mr. Hart, because you put in the best performance of your career at West Ham so far. Welcome back to Irons United. I am Anton. We are live. I'm joined by Luke. I'm joined by Matt. We'll throw this one straight over to you, Luke. West Ham 1-1 at Stamford Bridge. What were your thoughts going into the game?
Mate, going into the game, I wasn't expecting much from it. I had a good feeling, thinking that if we attacked from the off, we could grind out a result. But I wasn't expecting to come away with anything. So to me, it's just a bonus point, really.
Absolutely. Matt, what about yourself, mate?
I was hoping maybe to sneak a draw this morning, but I really didn't expect to get much. So this is a massive bonus point.
Absolutely. And I mean, do you know what? We went into this game and I mean, we've seen the result with Southampton. Southampton got beat today, which is massive result for West Ham. Yeah. That puts us currently 6 points ahead
6 points
from safety going into the Stoke game, which is massive. But let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. Team selection. Luke, thoughts on your team selection to start with?
I wasn't really surprised. I knew Fernandes would come in because of obviously the Antonio injury. Obviously, we spoke about Lanzini and about how we didn't know whether he was going to come into the squad. I think it was a wise decision to keep him out of this game for the Monday game against Stoke. So, yeah, really going into it, I didn't really have any problems with the way we set up for the team selection.
What about yourself, Matt?
Yeah, I think after the Southampton game, the team kind of picked itself. Like, I don't think you could have... After a 3-0 win, you can't really change a winning team.
Yeah, there was no one you would drop out of last Saturday's game.
No.
Yeah, I think we all kind of
picked itself.
We all thought about Lanzini. You know, we've heard that he is fit, but West Ham have probably decided to rest him today. And I think for me personally, I'm kind of glad we did rest him. What about your thoughts, Luke, on resting Lanzini in preparation for the game against Stoke on Monday?
I think it was a wise move, one of his wise moves, should I say? But I don't know. Obviously, we would have liked to have seen Lanzini today. When we're going forward, we could have done with someone like that. I think Mario had, well, I say a decent game to a certain point. I think he lacked the quality of the final touch, and I think Lanzini would have bought that. But I can understand the decision completely from Moyes, and there's no problems with it at all.
Do you think that a player like Mario plays upon his confidence? So he gets a goal last week. He has a bang average game today, but he did some decent things. He did stick his foot in for a tackle, etc. Matt, what's your thoughts on Mario's performance today?
I don't know if it's maybe his confidence, but I think it's maybe the style of play. Like the game last week, he was sort of given free roam to go up front, link up with Arnautovic, and press from the front of the attack. Whereas clearly today he was tracking back a lot more. And there seemed to be like a gap between him and Arnautovic. Then, at least in the first half, when we were getting overrun, he was struggling to maybe make up the shuttle runs between the midfield and the strikers.
Yeah, I think when Hernandez come on, he the 10 minutes that Mario was on before he got taken off, I think he was the link between them two. I think it worked well, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, if we go into the game a little bit now and we kind of start off, I thought personally I'll give you my opinion in a minute, but we'll throw this over to Luke. What was your thoughts in the first kind of 20 minutes of the game?
First 20 minutes, I say Chelsea were dominating. We had a little 5-minute spell where we got into the game slightly, but yeah, really the first half was quite poor from us. I thought defensively we were solid, but obviously we switched off for that weird first goal, which I didn't really know what happened, if I'm honest. It was sort of everyone was recovering from Hart's brilliant save, and it just sort of happened.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the goal. I mean, Hart had a fantastic save. I mean, he had a fantastic day, to be honest. And then up steps this double chance within the space of a minute where Chelsea score one of the a very odd goal, a goal that you'd see in a playground, and you would say
it was Sunday League, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Sunday League, and do you know what? It was Sunday League defending awareness by the whole West Ham team. Who do you put the onus on to that goal, Matt?
It's hard because it's almost like it is a collective team mistake. Because I think William went through one-on-one, and Joe Hart made this amazing one-on-one save. Like he got a foot out to put it over the bar, and sort of everyone was like got so hyped up for it. They were all like high-fiving, like yes, we kept the ball out. that no one really paid attention to the fact Chelsea took a short corner, didn't even then cross it. They then whipped it out to Willian to cross in. And at that point, I mean, like, Arnautovic on the edge of the 6-yard box, facing inwards towards the goal, sort of like making sure line up the defence. Mm-hmm. And they win the header at the back post, and it comes across, and like Azpilicueta's caught in between sort of Arnautovic and Creswell, and he has an air shot. And then like Creswell's just standing there watching. He just watches the ball. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He lets him have the air shot, and then he has a second shot, and he just does this and just watches it. It was like the only way I could describe it was like he heard a whistle. Like, like sometimes you see a striker go full 1-on-1, and like the flag's already up for offside, so everyone just stops and the striker buries it. It literally was like that. He just watched it.
Yeah. But
from what he was doing, he was blocking Joe Hart's view, so Hart couldn't see it either. So by the time Hart's seen it, because he's so close to goal, Hart's like, "Oh shit, it's in." Yeah. And Creswell just looked at the ball. And it's like no one knew what that. Like, it was, considering how well I think defensively we kind of played the rest of the game. That was just absolutely bizarre. Like, it was a shambles.
When you look at the corner getting taken, when they show you it on the replay, you actually see Joe Hart organising, trying his best to organise the defence. Whilst he's doing that, none of the team are paying attention. Chelsea decide to take a quick corner. The first time a West Ham player reacts is when the ball's in the box, and in actual fact, the whole team at this point are totally in disarray. And for me personally, it is a really, really weird goal to concede, but I can't find one particular player. I know you're saying that about Creswell, but for me, it should have been avoided in the first place. It should have been player putting pressure on.
It's not just Creswell. I think Creswell was just the guy that was nearest to it. Arnautovic could have made a movement towards him, try and win the header. I can't remember who it was that was out going out to close the 1-on-1, but at the cross,
I think it was Noble.
Noble couldn't get across the William fast enough. Yeah. There was still, the thing is, there was guys in the box, so I'm not going to lay it just at Creswell's feet. It's just Creswell sort of like summed up the end of the comicalness of the goal as a whole.
The way
he stood there and watched and went, "Oh, you had one air shot. Oh yeah, have another go, mate."
It's just the way you were so static, just watching it, like he was watching another team playing or something. Like,
it wasn't even like they always say it wasn't like that. Was it Sane scored that banging volley last week against Everton?
Yeah,
when he smashed it. It wasn't like that. I mean, he literally like shinned it, absolutely shanked it. It just bobbled. But obviously, Creswell was standing in the way of Hart, so Hart can't do anything because he can't see it. Creswell just sort of, what I said, like you said, he's like Creswell's like he was having like an out of body moment where he's not looking at his body, he's just watching it from somewhere else, and just went.
He just zoned out for a minute, then, didn't he? He was just gone.
The whole team switched off. Like the whole team switched off. No one covered themselves in any sort of.
It was clever from Chelsea though to do it.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, it was a crap goal to concede. And if we if moving forward into the first half, I started to get a bit worried there because you started to see players like Hazard getting more of the ball.
I thought Hazard was brilliant all game. He had the freedom he needed.
And he was starting to penetrate through our defence. But what I will say is, and two players in particular I want to talk about, mainly one of them, but I'll put my hands up again and I'll say it, Ogbonna and Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Look, over to you. What was your thoughts on their performance today?
Declan Rice looked like he has been in that team for years in that first half. I mean, he had a good game, but first half especially. I think he cut out 2 through balls that were just everyone else, didn't even see.
Yeah.
We've got a real prospect here. I mean, I've gotten the hype over Declan Rice, but today he's really solidified it. And who was the other player?
Oggy.
Yeah, Ogbonna. I think he's been the most improved player under Moyes since he's come in. He just looks so calm and collected. I think when he under Bilic, he had a mistake in him. I think every penalty we conceded under Bilic was partly to do with Ogbonna. So
yeah,
he's really cleaned up his act.
What about yourself, Matt? On the two lads?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about that. But you just said, look, that's a fair point. Like, he is. If you look at like the amount of tackles he makes now, the way he shepherds players out, and the crosses he cuts out with Bono, he is like. If you think of how many mistakes he was making under Bilic, he is like a changed player. It's like a different player. And he's going to be, I can't believe it, he'll probably end up being number 2 behind an average player of the season. Like, he's had that much of an effect.
He definitely will, yeah.
It's a bit like with Ogbonna that he's been in the wings of all the other centre-halves. There's been so many centre-halves at West Ham. Now that we've shipped out Font, Collins is injured, Reid is injured, and he's had to step up to the mark. And it's as if Moyes has played that up to him and gone, do you know what, we're going to... Because he's been the most consistent centre-half this season for West Ham. And again, do you know what? I hold my hands up. the man's playing well. I can't say it. He's playing well in a really bad season, but that sounds like I'm being negative. But he has stepped up to the mark. He has done well. He's having to cover for all the mistakes that all over the park, and what's nice about it is the fact that him and Declan Rice seem to have been building up this nice little partnership.
Well, I think it works out well for him playing in a bit of playing a 3 Ogbonna.
Yeah,
like he seems to he almost knows that okay, I defend like the width of the 6-yard box. Anything wider either side, I've got someone either side to play it.
The thing with
Rice looks like
though,
he stepped in like straight away. Like I can't believe he hasn't been playing more. I know at the start of the season we played him, and like he had that mistake at Newcastle.
The thing with Ogbonna though, the thing with him is he can play any partnership. You can put him with Reed, it works. You can put him with Collins, it works. You know what I mean? So he's a very technical defender.
Yeah, no, I know, and I tell you what, I know it's a team performance, but I am going to give massive plaudits to Declan Rice today. This is a young teenager who's coming up in the Premier League. It's tough for a youth player to be able to step up, specifically even against the likes of when he played previously against Aguero, had him in his back pocket, and he's been coming up against these big teams, and he's not by no means out of depth in this league whatsoever. He is. I mean, there was a couple of attempts today where the ball did penetrate through the defence and Declan Rice slid over. He either made the tackle, he used his strength. I mean, when you look, when the screen goes over to his face, it looks like a little tiny young child, a bit like Luke there.
I was waiting for it.
But he's got such a baby face, and do you know what I love to see as well? See, when you look at all the marketing team and the PR stuff, he looks like he's full of banter. He looks like he looks like
they've sent a fan on the pitch, really, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he looks like he can withstand like a lot of the experience, and he's mature enough for it all, and he's proven this on the park. And for me, to be honest, I would be baffled at why he would not start the rest of the season if he keeps continuing this performance and be pretty much one of the number one defenders moving forward into the season.
Isn't he? So
yeah, but I mean,
he just takes Reed's place. Like I wouldn't even debate it.
But what I mean is, if he does keep performing this way, I'm thinking more about when we move into next season that he should still start for me. Now, from what he's done in the last couple of games, there's no way he cannot be. He should be one of the first teams on the team sheet. Yeah,
because he looks like the most complete defender we've got, because he's not just his tackling. He knows when to play it short, but he also knows.
I think he reads the game really well. I think he reads it really well.
Yeah. So let's move up in the field a little bit more and talk about two other players, Kouati and Fernandez. Over to you, Luke. Give us your opinion.
I don't know where to start with these two, to be honest. Kouati has gone back to his usual headless chicken game, where he just runs around not knowing what the fuck he's doing. The thing that annoys me is he was winning balls back but giving them away straight away. With Fernandez, I suppose you could talk about his age and he's young, but first half he gave a through ball to, was it Willian? Which was careless of him. So, them two were probably the worst on the pitch for me, but Kouati takes more blame because he's in the squad week in, week out, so I feel like he should get more blame.
Yeah. What about yourself, Matt, on the two lads?
They were awful, let's be honest. The game, Kouati he's, I don't know, does he flip a coin in the dressing room before the game, and it's like, if it's heads he plays well, if it's tails he plays shit, because you'll never get, do you mean, Noble, even if Noble has a shit game, you still know what you'll get out of him.
Yeah, at least you'll get out of him.
Kouati last week was like a man mountain, sprinting around, carrying the ball, making tackles, and today he was just lumbering about. And when he made a tackle, he couldn't play a 5-yard pass.
He gets the ball and he just looks surprised that he has it. He's why are you passing to me?
I think we probably all were Kouati's biggest fans when he came, and he's had a couple of good seasons under us. But and do you know what? I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt most of the season. See, when he gets the ball now and he attacks, even against Southampton last week, he looks like he's completely just lucky when he gets the ball. He doesn't look like he's got any form of close control. He'd done it today. He grabbed the ball, he tried to attack, and he kicked the ball out for a throw-in to Chelsea. He looks really confused. He looks a little bit donkeyish on the ball. It's like he's just lost his confidence completely. His head's been turned earlier in the season for maybe a transfer rumour, and but even at that now, I just don't know where.
I don't think you can say that it's to do with a transfer rumour now. I think that last season when Coati was running at you, you know, he looks a proper force. But I don't know, he just looks so off the ball this year.
Yeah, yeah. It's a tough one because, well, it's not a tough one for me anymore. If we are safe and we move into the next season, I've said it in the preview before. I've said it in other ones we've been on. We need an overhaul of the squad. But for me personally, when you've got players like Coati and Fernandes, like, I don't get the kind of excitement when I see Coati's name on the team sheet anymore. I certainly never have had the excitement for Fernandes' name on the team sheet anymore. I'm thinking to myself, what kind of performance are we going to give? But I'll always give credit where credit's due. Arnautovic, Luke, thoughts on his first half, moving into second half performance? I mean, let's just talk about the Masuaku ball. A couple of great balls in the first half over to Arnautovic. I thought he was going to hit that first time. I mean, I think if he'd had hit that first
he
time,
should have buried it.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think he should have had the confidence to hit that first time because, you know, he's capable of it. Like they said on punditry, he is not just any player. You know, he has really got the self-confidence to do it. So I don't know why he didn't, but there we go.
He obviously, like, considering he's a confidence player, he obviously didn't back himself to score it. Like,
I think he was shocked that he got.
I
think he was shocked that he got his chance that early. If I'm honest.
Yeah.
It's almost like he knew. Like, I think it's almost like he had, like, mentally, as that ball came over to him, he's thinking, we're not going to get many chances today. I need to make this count. I don't want to risk hitting it first time and missing it, so I take a touch. But then by the time he took the touch, he sucked in two defenders, and the chance was gone.
I like him and Masuaku together, though, the way they link up. I think one knows where the other's going to be.
He has faith that Masuaku can actually play a cross because he's the only person in the team who can actually make a fucking cross.
And he can, man. That's the thing. I mean, when you look at particularly his two passes in the first half, they're pinned perfect. I mean, if the ball that came in low to Arnautovic is what we've been crying out for all season. When you've got players like Chicharito on the end of it, like and Chelsea player done well to come over and make that tackle. You can't even deny that. And then the second one, where for me personally, Arnautovic should have buried it on the volley. Although we're talking like this is what he does every single week. But it would have been nice to see it. But a player like Masuaku, yeah. Look, before we came on, you mentioned that he's also another one who gives the ball away quite a lot. Recently, in particular, but he does have the makings to be a very good left winger for West Ham if we can play to his strengths and the team can react around that, you know, and we can have the cover in the defence because Creswell's just gone. Like he's another player. Like, I don't know, Matt, you mentioned beforehand, Sam Allardyce is sniffing around 25 million. I mean, I'll take that. But then the downside of that is we know what will happen. He'll go to Everton, he'll perform really well, he'll be England's future left back for the rest of our lives, and we've missed out on another
If we can get in like a young, sort of like, I don't know, like 22, 23-year-old English left back, I'd take, like, obviously Luke Shaw's being chucked out of Man United. Now, I'm not saying we're going to attract him, but we get someone like Luke Shaw in.
I would take him.
I'd 100% look at selling Creswell.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. Like, I thought we had a shocker again today.
Yeah.
But he
seemed I don't even feel sorry for him anymore. I feel like
he's been shoehorned into a position that's not his position. Like, he's been forced to play sort of left of a back three.
But since the injury, he hasn't been playing centre back all the time, has he? So,
and he just never like. It's when teams work out that you can put, if you put a centre forward on Creswell, he will struggle.
Yeah.
If he's just expected to like cover the winger when Masuaku goes forward and try and intercept, then he's fine.
Yeah.
But like when we played Burnley worked out in like fucking 10 minutes. Just put Chris Wood on Creswell, and Creswell can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Luckily for us, Chelsea, like Morata didn't really work that out. Maybe something up for a header, he went up with Bonner.
Yeah.
But like he's not going to keep getting away with it, Creswell.
We held a very tight line though, because Morata could have been in a few times.
Yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, we had a tight line and we were actually quite far up the park initially until the pressure started coming onto us and we started sitting deep again. But anyway, let's move on to my main man, Chicharito, who came on as a sub, for my opinion, should start every single game, every single minute for West Ham, and today he has proven his worth again. Luke, thoughts on Chicharito's performance?
I think the change was quite late, if I'm honest with you. I thought Moyes should have brought him on 10 minutes earlier. But when he did come on, he done exactly what he does best, and that is hold the ball up well to get set pieces, and obviously what we saw, which was the goal. I think it was great link-up play between him and Arnautovic with the assist, and honestly, what a great finish it was.
Yeah. Matt?
I think what Jamie Redknapp said after the game, he was like, "There's a reason he's one of the best finishers in the league if you put him in the box." Because when that ball came to him, Courtois was standing on the near post, but Courtois knew I've got to get back in the middle of the goal, and he was like any other centre forward, like an average centre forward, would have gone to the far post, and Courtois would have saved it. He's like, but he knows Courtois going that way, he can't get back, and he just buried it in the near post, and it was one chance, one goal. Like, I wanted Fernandes to start because I thought he deserved it from last week, but then having seen it today, I would rather start Hernandez against Stoke and play Arnautovic deeper again.
Thing is, I'm going to say is, would you think Hernandez would have much as an effect starting as he had coming off the bench? Because I'm referencing the 1-1 draw against Spurs at Wembley, where he was just isolated.
Yeah, but if you reference that, do you reference what kind of Arnautovic did we have? What other players did we have in the midfield at the time? Like we're playing with an Arnautovic who's gleaming loads of confidence, whose link-up play is everything we've been crying out for a while. And let's just reference Chicharito's goal scoring when he was on form, and then suddenly out of the blue he got dropped. I can't remember what game it was for.
Liverpool.
He got dropped. Liverpool, yeah. And or was it before that? Was it not a game he got dropped for before that? He scored like 3 and 4. And
it was the Liverpool game. Yeah.
He scored against Watford, then got dropped the next week, didn't he?
Yeah, and I mean what's just going to knock your confidence as a footballer anyway? And a player of that ability, Matt, you said it. 1 chance, 1 goal. He's a threat whenever he plays. I mean, his stats. It quickly shown up there saying that's his 9th goal against Chelsea in his career out of 14 games. I don't know what number of goals that is for West Ham when he's played, but his stats are reading decent for West Ham as well. Someone like this, just West Ham need to stop refraining back to the old way, an old mentality of putting one up top on his own, because with balls like from Masuaku coming in from the left and players with a link-up play like Arnautovic, if Chicharito was on the end of this, for me personally, he just needs to be there, and he's shown today what his worth is to start.
Well, I mean, like I said, because we won 3-0 last week, I fully understood why he picked the same team. But it was apparent, like 20 minutes in, that Fernandes was having a shocker.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And he should, I think, like Luke said, he should have brought him on earlier, like at least 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah. I wouldn't have blamed him for taking Fernandes off at half time and putting Hernandez on.
No, I wouldn't have. Like, but that being said, Moyes clearly had a plan to be in the game with 20 minutes to go. Bring on Hernandez and try and get something out of the game.
Yeah.
And he done exactly that.
That bench is so weak. I'm looking at it now and it was awful.
We've had that all season though, look, and that's the thing. We've known that we had the opportunity to strengthen. We didn't, and I mean the bench
weakened, didn't we?
We weakened. Yeah, we weakened. We lined our pockets.
You think how many kids we have on the bench, but I mean you could have had Saka, Ayew and Font on the bench.
Yeah.
At least that'd have been some experience.
Yeah.
But then again, I suppose we're always saying the kids need a chance, but it's kind of, you've got to find a balance.
Yeah, but when you're 1-0 down against Chelsea and you look at the bench, you don't really want to see all the youth there, you know?
But I tell you what, we've walked away. We had, coming to the end of the game, it was a great tackle on Arnautovic. I can't remember the Chelsea player.
Kante.
Yeah, Kante, sorry. He got back and Arnautovic was complaining.
It was a beautiful tackle.
It was a really, really good tackle. You've got to give credit where credit's due. Kante is a top-notch player, and he got back and covered Chelsea, because for me personally, if he didn't do that, they could have been in struggle.
If he didn't make that tackle, then I think Arnautovic would have scored.
I think Arnautovic would have scored.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But there's a reason Kante carried Leicester and Chelsea to Premier League titles.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that. It's his ability to cover ground and make tackles.
Yeah.
He was the best in the league.
Everywhere. He was everywhere that game.
Yeah, he really was. But at the end of the day, we've walked away from Stamford Bridge with a point. 2 games in a row now. We've had beat Southampton 3-0. We have played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge with a 1-1 draw. Joe Hart has had 1 clean sheet in his best performance.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Joe Hart, did we?
No, well, we did at the beginning, but let's just go back to him. Man of the match performance. Is he under pressure because it's live in front of the Sky TV? The assistant manager from England was there watching.
Yeah, Steve Holland was there when he.
Yeah, he's. I mean, those saves were none of those saves were just a typical goalkeeper save. They were all extremely hard saves. Every single one of them.
About it as well, was he?
Yeah, no.
He'd done his job.
I also think, like, if this had been like 3 weeks ago, they're not saves he would have made. Like, it's amazing, even though he didn't do anything against Southampton last week.
I don't know.
For a goalkeeper, it's amazing like what a clean sheet does. The second one again from Giroud, like he made that amazing save from Alonso for the first one. But that one, it was the power, but it was close enough to him that he didn't have to stretch too far. But it was a reaction save because of the pace.
Yeah, but even that one,
Giroud one,
was that the one he tipped round the post?
The Giroud one he tipped onto the post, didn't he? And he went out for a corner. Like he would not have made that. Like that, we've sat here all season and said that Joe Hart can't dive down to his left. And if that had been like 3 weeks ago, he wouldn't have made that save. He wouldn't have got there in time.
Yeah.
But the confidence, and especially like not just the confidence of the clean sheet last week, but playing in the game today, like even their goal, like he made an amazing one-on-one save, and then they scored from the corner.
Yeah.
Like he made I think he made 5 saves, but he made 3 ridiculous saves today. And like part of me is kind of gutted that we haven't seen that Joe Hart all season.
Yeah, it's true. I think that's what we expected, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Listen, before we go, we'll just quickly go to some comments on YouTube. Deckers and Augie were class. Mario was absolutely shite.
To be honest, he didn't have a great game. But, apart from the last 20 minutes, I don't think a lot of the attacking players had a great game.
Yeah. I can't believe how much confidence we got from the goal, though. Like, we just look like a different team. We look like we just come alive.
Deckers is first team 100%. Mario and Fernandez, terrible days, work. Shocked to get 2 quality crosses from Arthur. Arthur, like a lot of the team, had a so-so day. Moyes is a douche. Hope he leaves at the end of the season. He's always too slow to read a game. To be honest, Schizo Base, I'm not. I don't want to keep Moyes whether we stay up or not. I don't want Moyes.
I wouldn't like if they can't get Marco Silva. I wouldn't mind him for a season because I think what Moyes will bring you is stability. He's not going to do anything amazing. You've seen that from what we've had, but you'll get probably a 12th place finish under him.
Yeah.
So if you can't get anyone better, then he'd be a good fullback option.
Sigur just confirmed that Arnautovic did not play at Wembley in January. So I think maybe to reference Chicharito's performance, having a player like that around. Kante had a slightly better tackle than Ashley Young, certainly did. Stephen Charwood, who I know, Stephen, hope you're well, mate, thought most of the lads put in a shift, could have had a penalty, and thankfully the assistants noticed 2 offsides. And we don't.
That we're talking that quickly. That was a shock. Yeah,
and we don't often get those decisions, which is true. We don't. Yeah. Hart was mega. I was happy for him. Don't want Hart as a keeper, but don't like the stick he gets 100%. And lastly, he did a job today, and I hope this gives him confidence as we need his best for the last 6 matches. And someone slagging off doesn't want Marco Silva as our new manager. But listen, all in all, I am pleased. I would have taken a 1-1 draw. I said at the start I went for a 3-0 loss. So
I was gutted because I said 1-1 draw. I did put a bet on it. So
did you? I never seen you say that. I'm only joking, mate.
Yeah, I said it. The chat this morning. I was like,
no, you did. To be fair, you did.
Yeah, I'm
should have bet on it.
But listen,
I think it's a pleasant surprise.
Yep, we now march on to the. Oh well, better not say the word march because people get a bit pissed off over it. Anyways, we move on, or we statically move on towards the static.
I can already feel Stell getting angry. By you saying march.
We move on to the game against Stoke on Monday Night Football in a week's time. So we'll give you a preview show. We've got loads of videos coming up this week in preparation for the end of the season. Just remember, we are partnered up with Umbro. Make sure you like them on Twitter. We'll give away, I know the top West Ham tops are sitting at a tenner now, but listen, why spend a tenner when you can win a top? So we've got a top still to give away at the beginning of this season, and look, it's good to have you on. Come back on sooner rather than later.
Stop, I will do, man, don't worry.
Stop dicking about. And Matt, obviously we'll have you back on as well anyway. So listen, make sure you put the thumbs up on YouTube. Yep. That's right. And subscribe to our channel. Get all your West Ham friends to come over. Like it, share it, subscribe, all that malarkey. Anyway, he has been Luke, fresh-faced, young and ready to rock and roll. Matt just recently shaved, formerly known as Wolverine, not anymore. And I'm Anton, and we're West Ham fans. Come on, you irons.